for all the new faces on the screen, many of Solo's characters are old mainstays in the Star Wars universe with their destinies already laid out. We know Lando betrays Han on Cloud City, we know Han eventually meets Leia, has a kid, and gets light-stabbed, and we know Chewbacca hates porgs. But what about the other characters in Solo: A Star Wars Story? True to form, the movie is a menagerie of aliens, droids, and rebel scum, and believe it or not, a few of those characters come into play in other Star Wars stories. Here are all the characters in Solo: A Star Wars Story with more meaning than you realized. Spoilers ahead, obviously. L337. Ever since the beginning, the Millennium Falcon has seemed to have a mind of its own. Way back in The Empire Strikes Back, C-3PO mentions that the Falcon has the most peculiar dialect after trying to communicate with it. And now we know why, thanks to a new character who's apparently been in all the main Star Wars films, L337, Lando's activist droid. By herself, she's a unique piece of work. As Solo co-writer Jon Kasdan explained, she's a self-modified droid. The idea is that she's sort of a mutt, if you will, of various parts of different kinds of droids who has improved upon herself. But when Han, Lando, Chewie, and Qi'ra are trying to navigate the maelstrom, they have no choice but to plug the defunct L3's database into the Falcon's computer. And as far as we can tell, they leave it there, giving the ship L337's thoughts and sassiness. Weazel. By now, most people know that Solo: A Star Wars Story features a surprise cameo by a character from the Phantom Menace, and we'll get to that in a moment. But what you may not have realized is there were actually two Phantom characters on screen in Solo. The character of Weazel, played by Star Wars mainstay Warwick Davis, is one of Enfys Nest's marauders in Solo. As it turns out, he's taken a long journey to end up as one of Nest's rebels. In The Phantom Menace, Weazel, again played by Davis, appears as one of the spectators of Anakin's pod race. He even bets on Anakin to come in first. The official guide to Solo: A Star Wars Story seems to confirm him as the same character, saying that he was once a petty thief who worked for Jabba the Hutt. What's he been up to in the meantime? Probably regretting that bet he made on Anakin, since he turned out to be a Sith Lord and all. Cloud Riders. One of the best additions to Solo was Enfys Nest and her band of Cloud Riders, a pirate gang that seemed to show up at every job Han pulled. As it turns out, these guys hark back to the Marvel line of comics as well. In Star Wars No. 9, Han is called out to a planet to stop the Cloud Riders' raids on a local village. There he goes blaster to blaster with the airborne marauders. The story is obviously different from what happened in Solo, but co-writer Jon Kasdan confirmed that the name for the Cloud Riders came directly from that comic issue, along with the design ideas for the gang's swoop bikes. With this as a precedent, who knows what other non-canon expanded universe concepts could still make it to the big screen. Darth Maul. Solo had a big surprise waiting near the end in the form of Darth Maul, who you may remember as the red-faced Sith who got a free case of the halvesies courtesy of Obi-Wan in The Phantom Menace.
This was a particularly bad case of somebody being cut in half.
So, first of all, what? How's that guy still around? Well, Darth Maul is, if nothing else, a slippery sucker, and fans of the animated series The Clone Wars may recall that Maul survived being cut in half and falling into that giant hole. Later, he got himself a fancy new pair of robo-legs and became the leader of the criminal organization called the Shadow Collective. So how does this all fit into Solo? Well, clearly Maul is connected to the Crimson Dawn, the criminal organization headed by Dryden Voss in the film. Whether Maul pulls all the strings for the Dawn or Voss simply reports to him is still unclear, but Dryden Voss mentions that he can't steal the coaxium from Kessel because he has an alliance with the Pike Syndicate, who run the mine. In Star Wars canon, the Pike Syndicate are members of Maul's Shadow Collective, suggesting that the Crimson Dawn is just another criminal organization working for Maul's bigger gangster group. Qi'ra. Similarly, the movie's ending makes it clear that we haven't seen the last of Qi'ra. As one of Han's many betrayers, she certainly has her place in Solo, but as an ally of Maul, well, things just got a lot more interesting. One theory has her becoming a Sith, but probably that's not likely since Maul himself technically isn't a Sith anymore. But he still has all the training, and if he took Qi'ra under his wing, there are definitely a few things he could teach her. Combined with Qi'ra's knowledge of the Turris Cassi fighting style, the same style The Last Jedi's Praetorian Guard used, that could make her a formidable opponent in the future. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.